Fritzy just sent me a poll question. He said, which athlete would you want to be? Is this correct, Todd?
Yeah, which athlete would you rather have been this past weekend based on what they accomplished over these last couple of days?
Okay, so you had Shea Gilgeous, Brad Marchand, and JJ Spaun. It's not even close.
You're going with the golf.
Yeah, well, JJ Spaun is a champion. Shea Gilgeous is not a champion yet. Brad Marchand is a champion, but he hasn't won that championship this year. JJ Spaun's a champion. This morning, he's a champion. And he did it in dramatic fashion. And, when you start to look, there's certain courses that are the stars. When you think about it, St. Andrews, it's about the course. Augusta, it's about the course. Oakmont, it's about the course. TPC Sawgrass, because of the 17th, it can be about the course. There's very few courses where you go, I'm tuning in to see the course. And that's what we did with Oakmont. It didn't matter who was on the leaderboard and who wasn't. It did not, because this was a war of attrition. And as Rich Lerner said on the Golf Channel last night after JJ Spaun won, Spaun not only beat the best, he beat the beast. And it's a great way to sum this up. All those other players fell to the wayside. And JJ Spaun, out of nowhere, 34 years of age, Los Angeles native, and he just held on. You can't bogey 5 of the first 6 holes and say, that guy's going to win. It doesn't happen in a major. And it felt like he was out and then on the outside looking in, and then you realized everybody on the outside looking in was also on the inside, because it was like the field is coming back to everybody. And the course was the star. And you were watching some great golf. You were watching some shaky golf, some bad golf. And it comes down to decision-making. You had the elements there with the rain, so you're making one of the toughest courses in the world even tougher. And you add the pressure of Sunday. But JJ Spaun was wonderful. He did what you want a champion to do. The only golfer to finish under par, and the first U.S. Open winner to start his final round 3 consecutive holes over par, and the 5th champion to birdie the final 2 holes. That's what should stand out. That's what people should remember. The drive on 17 and ending up with a birdie, and then the birdie putt on 18. Here is how it sounded with the winning putt.
Just want to cozy it up. Don't need to make it. 2 putts.
In one of the most unlikely final round Sundays in U.S. Open history, JJ Spaun closes the deal with a birdie at the last.
The announcers were, bracing you for it's going to be a 2-putt. Like best case scenario, you just want to cozy it down there. And all of a sudden you're watching it, and then you're watching it, and you're watching it, and then all of a sudden he leaves the flagstick in. Just in case, you might go buy it and you want to make sure that you get a piece of it, and then all of a sudden it goes in. But he was very fortunate. Victor Hovland had the very same putt prior to his and gave him a teach, as players like to talk about. That's where you walk right behind the guy after he putted, and then you get your teach on the speed and also the angle. And here is JJ Spaun after the win.
But yeah, Victor, we kind of got a good line, a good read on the speed. I was more focused on how hard he was hitting it. I kind of knew the line already, but it looked like he gave it a pretty good whack because it started raining there for the last 10, 15 minutes. And I just tried to pick my line and put a good stroke on it, and I knew it was going to be a little slow, and about 8 feet out, I kind of went up to like the high side to see if it had a chance of going in. It was like going right in, and I was just in shock, disbelief.
I think everybody was. But with everything that happened, you had the rain delay, and then all of a sudden you're kind of regrouping. It helped some players. It hurt some players. Some of the angles the guys were hitting from out of the rough, and then you'd watch the ball disappear. And if you've ever played in rough that's really hot, it takes an incredible amount of strength to get the ball out of the rough. And then you're trying to hit it a couple of 100 yards. You're trying to hit it straight. And usually when you're hitting it, it'll grab your club and, twist it to the left if you're a right-handed golfer. But congrats to JJ Spaun, because hanging in there, not hanging your head down, because you're getting embarrassed. Like I'm bogeying all these holes, and then you start to look around. You go, is anybody doing anything? And the answer was no. And we kept waiting. Scotty Scheffler, he's kind of there, and then all of a sudden, John Rahm, he's kind of there. If you go to the second page of the leaderboard, you're like, oh, now that looks like a major championship. The top of the leaderboard did not. But JJ Spaun, you survived as you beat the best and beat the beast.